Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got a question about a video I did on demotivation. You can check out that video here that I was talking about being demotivated, and this question comes from Claude, and he says, "Hi John, I just watched your video on demotivation and I really resonated with what you talked, and it triggered something in me that I didn't understand, and I don't know if you would have any hints on. My ultimate dream is that the world goes vegan one day. It might sound silly, but animal rights is the cause that is the most important for me, and when I see the mistreatment of animals, I want to make a difference for them and inspire people to go vegan and being the example in educating people. I've already done a talk on veganism at my previous jobs, and when somebody makes even a small change, it makes my day, and so that's why I want to be remembered for. I would literally die for the world to go vegan." That's the reason I want to make a lot of money, because I want to be able to give back to nonprofits that do that kind of work for, like Mercy for Animals, for example, and be able to give talks in colleges and events so I can have the biggest impact possible. I feel like I should never get, quote, demotivated, since it's a really big and beautiful goal and I might actually never happen, but who knows? The reality is that I find myself being demotivated like you said, but it's not because I achieved that goal. I honestly don't know why. I'm questioning myself if it is something that I think I want, but I don't really want it bad enough because I would be taking daily action to achieve it, I guess. I always have to remind myself daily of what the animals are going through to get back motivation. Do you have any tips by any chance, or have you had any similar situation with a goal that you previously had? Thanks a lot for what you do. Thanks a lot, John, for what you do. It's very awesome that you share all of your valuable information and knowledge with us for this to be your legacy. I really appreciate that. Sincerely, Claude. So here's the thing. Okay, some of you are already, you're like, whoa, what's going to happen here? What is John going to say here? Because you know that I'm a pretty big meat eater, okay? I mean, let's be honest here, okay? And that I think I did some kind of video about veganism, and you know, but I did say that, you know, I haven't really tried it for lifting, but I was doing a fitness video. So I'm not a big supporter of veganism, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that Claude can't, right? I applaud you, Claude. I mean, you've got a purpose, you've got something, a mission, and you know, and I don't have to agree with it. We don't always have to agree with each other, right? But I can respect your mission, and I can respect what you are trying to do, and I can give you some tips on that, hopefully. So, you know, I'm not against you. And this is important. I think, you know, just want to clear that up, that, you know, some of us, we're going to have different views on some stuff, and that's cool. That's all right. It's fine, right? I mean, but let's not be ignorant. Let's not stick our heads in the sand, and, you know, and it's fine. If you've got a cause, if you've got a mission, if something's important to you, we can't all be the same. We can't always have the same things important to us. So even though I might disagree with veganism, or I might not actually care about that, or not really care much about animal rights, you know, not that I hate animals, just not something I care about, right? That doesn't mean that you can't, and that, you know, we can't still get along, and you know, I've got my mission, you've got your mission. That's cool, okay? So, but I do want to talk about this specifically, and here's the thing. This is the reason why I'm answering this, the reason why you might be wondering why I'm answering this question, is because I want to talk about how your motives and your goals change over time, and how you want to sort of, I'm trying to think of how to describe this, but you sort of want to evolve your goals, your motives become more pure over time, and that's sort of the thing, the dream, the goal, the vision. It becomes more pure over time, and it starts off a little bit more base. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by this is that it's really hard to motivate yourself for these huge, like, world-changing goals, okay? If you want to motivate yourself to make the whole world vegan, and, I mean, what was the original thing here? It was like, my ultimate dream is that the world goes vegan one day. Okay, that's a really friggin' big dream, okay? That's really big, okay? So it's really hard to motivate yourself on the ground level daily for that dream, because you can't see progress towards that goal, because that dream is too big. You can't even envision that dream, and you don't believe it's possible. So it's demotivating, it's discouraging, and you feel like a schluck, a schmuck, maybe like a schluck. Hey, you feel like a schluck. You feel demotivated by that because you're not actually accomplishing that. You don't think that you have the ability to. You don't have the ability to, frankly, at this point, right? I mean, let's be honest here, right? And you know that, so you can't bullshit yourself, right? The one person you can't bullshit is yourself. But here's the thing, okay? So, and this happens a lot, right? Sometimes people are like, they want to have such great, grand visions and pure motives, and you just can't do that until you reach a certain level of success and build your character up to a certain level and get a certain level of achievement in your goals and confidence, and just have built your own self up, right? Your self-development, right? You've progressed towards those goals. You can't have quite as pure motives because they don't touch you, they don't mean anything, they don't connect to the ground, and you don't feel like you're going to accomplish them. So what I would say is that it's okay to have lesser than awesome motive, right? So you want to eventually have this big dream and have this big goal, but you just don't feel it now, right? You even said that, right? I don't know if I really want this, if I'm not, I have to make myself think about the animals every day. And that's pushing it too far. That's not helping you. It's almost feeling like an obligation, like you feel like you need to do this rather than something you want to do that motivates you and is a big desire of yours, right? So I'll give you some examples, and we can talk about this a little bit. So just like if we look at my own life, okay, my motives for perhaps like originally, okay, let's look at it this way. When I first started out, when I was like 18 or 19, I would say that some of my motives for, I wanted to do acting and modeling, right? I did that, and my motive was really just to impress people. That was my motive, okay? But I did get in shape. I did get, right, I did learn my style. Like I did all these things, and it had a positive impact on me, right? Because I cared about my image. My motive was not pure. It was pretty base. It was just to impress people. It is a pretty like vaporous and pretty dumb motive, right? And it's pretty conceited and needy and whatever those things, right? It's not a good motive, but it worked. It got me there. It got me in the modeling agency. It got me actually studying and practicing my acting, getting my fashion, getting my fitness in tune to be able to get there, right? And then over time, my motives started to change, right? As I started to achieve those goals, and I realized how vapid and empty that motive, that goal was, that dream, it became a bigger one, right? So then it became more about being successful in my career. And, if you just fast forward now to like, what is my motive now? Is there still some motive of like wanting to be on the stage and perform? Yes, right? It's good. But what is the key driver? Now it's like I'm answering these questions. I want to help people. I honestly want to change people's lives, and I can connect to that bigger one. But part of the reason why I can do that is because I made a shit ton of money, right? I did the video on becoming a millionaire. Like I hit success in these other areas. I had to have some motives of I want to just make money. That was my motive at one point, right? And then it was like, I want to build up a reputation. I want to be famous, right? So like you have these kind of not the best, not the most pure motives, but then they become higher level, right? So as I achieve some of those things, and some of those things fuel me, but they're connected to the ground, like I can be greedy, right? You know what I mean? And that can be a motive that's going to propel me forward. Or sometimes your motive is like, fuck everyone who told me I can't do it. I'm angry at them. My motive is anger. I don't like those assholes. I'm going to show them, right? And that's not a great way to live your life, but it can get you to the next level temporarily, right? It can get you there. And once you get there, then you can see how pointless that is and how you shouldn't be living your life to show other people and then you can pick a new motive. Then it opens up the way. So I know I'm not communicating this the best. But what I'm really trying to say here is essentially this, is that your motives may not be the most pure at first, okay? But they're going to be the things that motivate you. You can't control that. You can't control what motivates you. This is what I'm saying, okay? You don't have control over that. You are motivated by, I want to get that hot girl. I want to have sex. I want to make a lot of money. I want to eat that fucking cheeseburger, right? Those things motivate you, okay? You can't control that. That's who you are right now, okay? So connect with that shit, use it, fuel it, use it as fuel to fucking burn your rocket to get to where you need to go, and then the motives will change. I promise you, okay? If you're working on self-development, if you're working on growing yourself and you start achieving these goals, they will become bigger. They'll become more pure and they'll become bigger. They'll become less selfish, right? As your ego dissolves a little bit as you start achieving these things. Because when you're first starting out, when you don't have a lot of credibility, when you don't have a lot going for you, your ego is like it needs to find its place, right? I mean, ultimately you want to dissolve the ego, but first it's got to kind of be validated a little bit, right? And so it wants to achieve these things. It wants you to achieve these things. The baser things motivate you. The more carnal things motivate you, and that's okay. It's not horrible. It's not bad, but it's real. You can't control that, right? So, but once you start to achieve those levels of enlightenment, of attainment, of becoming more wise and gaining perspective, right? And personal growth, as you achieve those things, as you've validated the ego a little bit and said, okay, buddy, it's all right. You did this, like, cool. All right. You don't got to prove everything to the world now. Okay. Then it opens up. Then those needs sort of dissolve and new needs arise, right? And so new motivations arrive and those arise, and those new motivations are usually more pure. They're a little bit bigger. You can connect with them now. You can believe that you can do them, and that becomes your mission. And so that's the progression I've seen. Again, I'm probably not describing this as good as I want to. I'm doing this in a few different ways so you can understand it, because it's not just like a clear straight line here, but I have felt in myself and I have seen my motivations change over time from very base, very low level motivations, things like anger, greed, fear, lust, right? Those are motivators that operate at a very base level, and they still motivate me to some degree. I mean, you're never going to get rid of all those things, but the higher things have unlocked now. I can unlock those things and I can go after those things. So why am I saying all this? Claude, I'm telling you this. Look, you're not connected to this motivation right now. I know you want to do this thing, but it's not your primary motivator. It's not your big dream that's going to motivate you right now. It might be your bigger, like, eventually you'll get to this, okay? But it's just not enough. It's not enough for you right now. So connect to the more baser motives right now. You know, maybe it's making money, maybe I don't know what it is, right? Whatever it is that floats your boat, okay? And then as you start to have success and as you grow and as you reach that next level, let those motives, eventually maybe you'll get to the point where you can really see the vision of making the world go vegan, okay? And it really does mean something to you, and you really feel like you can make an impact, okay? I could not be doing what I'm doing with Simple Programmer, with these YouTube videos, with connecting with people, with doing all this stuff. I couldn't have been doing it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, where I didn't have, where I wasn't retired, right? Money would have been too much into it, where I didn't have the success that I had. Ego would have been too much into it. Lack of confidence would have been too much into it. I would have been doing things for the wrong reasons. Not that I'm 100% pure doing things. There's a dark side to me. Of course there is, right? I embrace the dark side though, but there's hopefully a little bit more light. Hopefully there's a more pure motive. Hopefully I feel like I can touch the world and change the world and affect people's lives. And I know that I can. I know that I am through these videos. So that's driving me now, and it's actually a motivation that connects. You got to find the right gear, right? The right gear for the right speed. So when you're in low gear, right? When you're going up the hill, you need the low gear. And when you're cruising down the hill, you need the high gear. I don't know how many analogies I'm going to come up with this, but I think you guys get it, okay? And that's my advice to you, Claude, is don't worry. Don't worry. It's just, you can't control the motivations. You just use the ones that will serve you now. And as you grow, I promise you, as long as you're on the path of self-development and you are on the path of personal growth, the motivations will change. They will change as you grow, as you become more successful, and they will unlock, and bigger ones will come out, and it's okay to be motivated by what you're motivated by now. You just can't control that shit. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and hopefully maybe I've motivated you in some way to take some action, to get off your ass, to do something. If I did, the best way to show that motivation is to click that subscribe button and join me on my quest to motivate millions of people, to get to 100,000, like, here we go. I want to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'll be there by the time that you click this subscribe maybe, but then we'll go to 1 million. But I can't think about 1 million until I get to 100,000. You got it? All right, that's it. Click that subscribe. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.